This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. Taken in the end zone. And they'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bradley. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Bradley. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Fulton. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Let's go. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. A fairly short kick from the 14. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
34-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Throwing after the interception. Bradley. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bradley. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Set to kick off.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Their own 21-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off at the 38. Boy, so another interception. interceptions, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
It's complete to Brown, right side. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Taken in the end zone.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. Very bad spot. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Now Sanders. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Quick throw complete into the flat out left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Number 80.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Off-play action. Hampton. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Taylor. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
dime look defensively here for the Titans on third. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. To throw on third down. Bradley. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And that hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. The give to Taylor. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Looking to throw. Bradley. That's complete to Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
3-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Bradley. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Jonathan Taylor. 8 yards on the pickup.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. 2nd quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Now Taylor. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
McMillan on the
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw. Bradley. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Bradley. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Harold Landry, his 2nd sack of the night. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Trying to lay one up deep. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play that time for the Titans. And even 50 yards on the ground. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And this offense continues to pour it on. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Off the play fake, Bradley. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bradley. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll try and throw for it here. explosiveness on the sack. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Hampton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Off play action, Hampton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he does not get to the 1st down marker as they stop him at the 19.
Eddie Pinheiro on for the field goal of 36.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Made at the 25-yard line. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line.
To throw on 2nd down, Bradley. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the gun, Bradley. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Operating from the gun, Hampton, left side here to Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Ball carrier.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll try and run forward with Sanders. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down. Going for it with Sanders. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Miles Sanders as the first half is winding down as his guys continue to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first two quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, Bradley. He's got his man in stride, complete. And this offense going to like to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
20-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Down Tennessee.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. That's out to the left flat and complete. That catch good for only a couple.
Complete to number 80. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line.
Second down and 8. They'll run with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
3rd Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. Operating from the gun. Hampton looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, the good news, they got to stop defensively. The bad news, this is a huge hole that they're in right now. How do they start to dig out of it?
That's a great question because we're not even going to talk about how do they win it, right? We want to see how they can kind of claw back and at least make themselves feel better about the game because this one is likely out of reach, but maybe one possession at a time. Try and play a little bit better and have some respect when you come out of the game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bradley, even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Bradley. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing.
Oh, my goodness. Another interception. CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him, but you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on, but it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. They'll run with Sanders, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans.
Touchdown.
Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. Now the interception by the Titans D leads to a touchdown. And he's got it up and through.
Makes the score Titans 48, Colts 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their platform at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually. And it's caught inside the 30. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Boy, 30 more yards and another 1st down. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Bradley dancing to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And this Tennessee defense for the second straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Operating from the gun, Bradley. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Bradley's pass.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, Bradley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Colts gain a bit of respectability. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. And some room to roam now. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Down at the 37-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2.
To throw on 2nd down. Hampton, he's going, and this is taken in at the 5. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. To the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And this Titan offense is running away with this one. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
For 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st down, Bradley, flush to his right. Right side here, and that's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards. from the gun. Bradley. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Harold Landry in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bradley. Open man completes it to Butler. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jair Alexander. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Throwing on 1st down. Hampton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Back to the air on 2nd down. Hampton. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Ben Banagoo. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Harold Landry. Make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Escaping the pressure right. They'll get that one to Taylor complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Bradley. Oh, my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Monty Hooker. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there and a first down.
First down.
Operating from the gun, Hampton. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning.
Let's go.
A big play that time for the Titans. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Looks like he'll throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
3rd down.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. On the crossing route, complete. It's Brown. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his third pick of the game. Instead, it's third down.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Bradley. And that is intercepted. Or was it? It does say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flushed out right. As he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. On first down, Hampton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.